Hi Leo, welcome. Thank you for joining me on my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. You are watching a general love reading for the sign of Leo for this coming week in July. Today is Sunday, July 19th, 2020. This is a general reading, and that means it can apply to just about anything in your life. I also want to remind you to be flexible with the energy. Take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't. My intention is always to reach those that need this message the most and will benefit from it in some way, shape, or form. I hope that's you today, Leo. I hope that by the time you finish watching this, not only do you enjoy it, but I also hope you walk away feeling like you have something that's beneficial to you. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get right into it, Leo. I'm going to give this first deck a couple of shuffles. If you do want more specific information regarding my channel and my videos, check out the description box below. Okay, Leo, a cut, and then we're going to see what's in the cards for you for this coming week. Here we go. We're going to start off with the Ten of Swords, paired with the Five of Wands, Eight of Swords in reverse, Ace of Wands in reverse, Five of Swords, Nine of Swords in reverse, Seven of Wands in reverse, and then we have the King of Swords in reverse. Okay, Leo, so these two cards came out, and the first thing that popped into my head was, okay, there's an ending here. There's a brutal ending here. Something has come to a close. Something that feels like it needed to come to a close, but then it feels like it's debatable. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not actually ending. Feels like there's lots of conflict going on. So maybe this was a fight or an argument, for example, and somebody stormed out of the house and said, that's it, I'm out of here, this is over, I'm done. But nothing was resolved. So there's still this energy of aggressive kind of fighting or arguing. It feels unpleasant. Maybe there was an inability to come to an agreement. We have a King of Swords in reverse on the table. This person feels like he was ready to give up or ready to throw in the towel, but he's not happy about it. He might have just come to the conclusion that there's no way to see eye to eye, that this is a battle where there will be no winners. And for that matter, no losers, really, because I feel like it's still relevant, whatever this conflict or fight is. Feels like it could be, it could include many people, not just between you and another person, Leo. It feels like it could be more than a handful. Let's get some more cards on the table and see what else we get. We have the Nine of Pentacles. And then we have the Nine of Swords again in reverse. Ten of Pentacles. Knight of Swords in reverse. The Hierophant in reverse. of Pentacles, the King of Cups in reverse, and then the Six of Pentacles. So I feel like this King of Swords and King of Cups is the same person, and I feel like this could be a family matter, this could be a group dynamic. Whatever the case may be, the people involved in this situation I feel are close-knit relationships that have lasted a while, are significant in your life. It doesn't have to be a family situation. It could be a close group of friends or co-workers, but whatever the case may be, it feels like whatever conflict is occurring is amongst people that you're very close to. I think this King of Swords, King of Cups is confused, and I feel like he's trying to help in some way, or he's offered his help in some way, and he might be offering it to someone who's not accepting it for what it is, or it's not enough, or it's not appreciated the way this King of Swords feels like it should be appreciated. I feel like, again, he might be angry because he feels like he's trying to maybe assist somebody or help somebody or make things right within a situation, and he's not being received the way he would expect to be received with regard to what he's doing or what he's offering. At this point in time, because of the way things feel like they're transpiring, it feels very volatile and uncomfortable. There could even be a little bit of cray-cray behavior going on, if you know what I mean, Leo. I feel like people are kind of, it feels like I said, more than a hand. It could be like, 4, 5, 6. It feels like a group of people. And it feels like people are running around with their heads chopped off. It feels like mayhem to me. I mean, you can look at the cards and kind of get a feel for what this looks like to me. And it also feels like there could have been a point where participants in this conflict, argument, fight, whatever this is, at some point left the scene, standing their ground, claiming they don't need to have anything to do with anybody else in this matter. Everybody just kind of went their own way. And it ended like that. I don't need your help. I don't want your help. I didn't ask for your help. I'm out of here. And I get the feeling like this king is confused because I don't think he meant to start, well, maybe he did. I don't know. We'll have to get some more cards out and see, but it doesn't feel like he thinks, at least he's thinking, I didn't mean to start this conflict or a fight over this. I was just trying to help. And this king is pissed. He doesn't understand why people are responding to him in this manner. I feel like someone jumped the gun on something. Someone may have made an assumption, or someone didn't wait to get all the information before acting or before speaking. It feels like someone may have assumed something It feels like whatever this conflict or fight was, it happened really suddenly to me. And again, it may have been over an issue that was misunderstood, or there was some miscommunication, or a lack of communication, or a lack of understanding. I feel like it was a very abrupt and sudden conflict or argument or fight, and then it feels like it ended as abruptly. And it feels also like it was because people were making assumptions about the other side or other party or other people involved in the situation. It almost feels like somebody went in with the anticipation that there would be an argument. And so it manifested because there was that anticipation or expectation. And this King of Swords is like, well, fine. I don't give a crap anymore if that's the way you want to be. I don't care. Leave me out of it. He just wants to give up. He's not even willing to respond or express himself or talk further. He's just like, fine. Go then. Don't come crying back to me if you need help, because I'm not going to be available to you. That's what I've got so far. This king is pissed. So again, this could be your energy, Leo, or somebody that you're dealing with. And I want to point out, you can certainly be a female and embody this kind of energy. The fact that we have a King of Cups, King of Swords out here, this is an aggressive energy, someone who's aggressive in nature, very adamant, very intimidating, and dominant in nature when it comes to whatever he's dealing with. He's approaching it in that manner, and because of that, you know, certainly a female can embody this kind of energy. It's just a very aggressive energy. So let's get some more cards out here, Leo, and see what else we get. We have Death in reverse, the Sun in reverse, the Star in reverse, Eight of Cups, Ace of Pentacles in reverse, Page of Cups, the Hierophant again, this time in the upright position. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, I'm getting strongly again with this set of cards that there is a lack of clarity involved in this conflict. In other words, again, I don't feel like there is sufficient communication between this king and whoever he's in conflict with. And again, it feels like it could be more than a single person, or more than two people are involved in this dispute or conflict. And it feels like it could it could pertain to money or financial situation, job or employment. It feels like it could have something to do with a financial or opportunity or employment or work, maybe a loan or an investment gone bad. It's possible, I'm just going to throw this because this could be true for somebody who feels like this king offered, especially with the Six of Pentacles and then the Ace of Pentacles coming out here, clarifying this Five of Swords. It feels like this could be This king was asked for money or asked for a loan or some financial support. Something in the area of money or finances. And it's possible there was a dispute on, for example, maybe it couldn't be paid back, the money couldn't be paid back, or there was suspicion that it wouldn't be. And I'm just using a loan as an example. But there was some lack of clarity with regard to maybe intentions. Maybe however this king was assisting or making an offer for someone else, making an offer of assistance or help or support, whatever that looks like, it was misinterpreted. He may have thought that whoever he was assisting needed something specific that he was ready to offer, but he misunderstood the request. There's some misunderstanding here, and it's what fueled the conflict, and it feels like it has something to do with money. And I think that the conflict, the actual fighting or discussion that's going on, or that did go on, it feels like with the more that oh my God, the more communication that there was, I think the more confusion that there also was. Because I feel like these two opposing parties came in with, again, assumptions or expectations that simply did not match what was going on the other side. Does that make sense, Leo? That's what I've got so far. Let's get some more cards on the table. Judgment in reverse. And we have the Page of Wands in reverse. Three of Wands in reverse. Four of Pentacles. Ten of Swords again. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Six of Swords in reverse. And then the Tower in reverse. Okay, I feel like this has happened to this king in the past. This feels like a repeated occurrence for him. And it could be multiple, or it could just be one other time. But it feels like this has happened to him before, and I feel like that could be why he made the assumptions that he made, or had the expectations that he had. Because he was approaching this situation from the same perspective as when it occurred before for him, but this is a different situation. That's what I'm getting. That's where the misconception is, or miscommunication. Whoever approached this king for assistance, and I keep getting that's the main message I'm getting, Leo. So if there isn't something having to do with somebody coming to another person to ask for help or assistance, and it feels like it could have to do with money, a loan, or some support in that manner, maybe resources or connections, that kind of thing. It feels like that kind of thing. Then this may not be your story, because a lot of times I give a lot of different options for what this could be, but it feels like it's someone approaching this king for assistance. He misunderstood, or his expectations regarding this request didn't match what actually came into him, and because of the miscommunication, there was then conflict or fighting. And the person, I think this king thought that he was going to be included in whatever the other party was pursuing or whatever they were doing where they needed the assistance of the king. But I don't think that's the case. I think whoever is requesting assistance from this king, like I said, it could be money. I just need a loan. I don't want you to be involved or give me your 2 cents or start making decisions for me. I just need this from you, and then I'm going to go on my merry way. Do you see what I'm saying, Leo? So, and 9 of Pentacles feels like the person, here's the thing, this is interesting because this 9 of Pentacles feels like the person that is having this interaction with this King of Swords. So this could be your energy or somebody that you're dealing with, Leo. 9 of Pentacles is a very single, solo energy, very content and thriving really in all aspects of one's life, but doing it in a solo manner. So this person is doing well for themselves, but this person wants to keep it that way. So it's possible that this King of Swords, when approached by this individual, probably welcomed the opportunity to assist in whatever way he could, because he may have been included in whatever's going on with this person, because he sees that this person's thriving and doing quite well. So maybe he thought, okay, well, here's my chance to get involved with this person. But I think this 9 of Pentacles energy really just wanted some assistance, and then that was it. I'm going to go on my merry way and do my thing. I'm not including other people, including close connections or relationships, family, and other people who would be considered close connections. I think that this King of Pentacles, King of Swords has that kind of relationship with whoever he's dealing with. And Leo, again, I don't necessarily feel one way or the other that you are this king or this 9 of Pentacles individual. If you're resonating with this reading, you know who you are. This king also might be feeling that this interaction was a greedy request from the person who came to him for help. In other words, you want this from me, but then you're not willing to share, says this King of Swords. And by share, I mean, allowing me to participate or give some input or actually reap some of the benefits or be a partner, shareholder, whatever that looks like for this king. He wanted to be involved. Let's get this last round out for Leo. Sylvester is making his transition from one windowsill to the other, and the other window's not open. Come on. Come on. Keep walking. Okay, back up then and stay in the window. Okay. So we have Strength in reverse. King of Wands in reverse. I think this is the other person. This is the person that this King of Swords is dealing with. Eight of Cups again, this time in reverse. 5 of Swords in reverse. Six of Cups in reverse. There's the King of Cups in reverse again. Queen of Cups in reverse. And then we have the Magician in reverse. Okay, so this Queen of Cups is a little confusing, but let me kind of work through some of these other ones. So I feel like this King of Wands is the person that this King of Swords is dealing with. And I definitely feel like this King of Wands feels disempowered by this King of Swords. I think this King of Wands, even though he may have been approaching him for help or assistance, and I feel like it was financial, he feels like this King of Swords is overpowering, maybe even a little manipulative in nature. So he wanted his assistance, but he didn't want him to participate or put in his 2 cents, or he didn't want his opinion. He didn't want to partner up with him in any way, shape, or form. He just wanted something tangible from him. And this King of Swords is pissed. And he's resentful. I feel a lot of resent coming from this King of Swords. So, due to this request and misunderstanding that came along with the request, a significant conflict, battle, argument, fight, it feels very volatile, has occurred or is occurring. This could be present. I mean, I'm not saying you're sitting here, you know, trading blows back and forth right this second. You know what I mean? Like, present could have happened, you know, yesterday or whatever, or maybe in the near future. If you're this King of Wands getting ready to approach this King of Swords, this is what you might expect from him, because he doesn't understand your intent with your request. He thinks he should be included. I think this has happened before. It feels like that this has happened before, where this King of Wands has come to this King of Swords in this manner, and then didn't include this King of Swords with regard to whatever it was he was requesting from him. It definitely feels like it has to do with money. And I think that because maybe a past event was never ironed out, and I don't mean that there was any history indicating that maybe there was resentment or people holding grudges necessarily, but things weren't completely ironed out. There wasn't a lot of communication had with regard to whatever happened in the past. This could have been more than a single event, but I think this is a reoccurring situation, and I think that this king is tired of it. This King of Swords is tired of it, and he's pissed. Now, here's the thing. With this kind of energy, there's no way for me to sit here and pick and choose, like this King of Swords is right over this King of Wands or vice versa. And I don't think that's necessarily the problem here about picking who's right over who's wrong. I don't think that's what I'm supposed to be getting out of these cards. I think what I'm supposed to be getting out of this reading is that there was a misunderstanding going into the situation. It got worse because of the kind of communication that was being had, and it feels like fighting, arguing, loud words and nobody was being heard. You can't hear each other and understand each other's point of view if you're both screaming at each other. It feels like it could have been very volatile. And then you get these kind of fights where past events are brought up, and I think that happened. Now, in the past there may have been no grudges held, that kind of thing, but there was enough of a memory for this King of Swords certainly to bring it up again and say, look, you've done this to me before. I'm not playing your game again. I thought when you approached me this time it would look different, and it obviously doesn't. And I'm not going to deal with this. Now, here's the thing. We have this Queen of Cups in the picture. And I don't know why she's here. I don't know why she's here, but she's hanging out with this King of Swords. They feel like they're tied together. This person is extremely hurt over the situation. And again, I felt like it had to do with family. I think this is a family member. I don't think that this person was necessarily directly involved. This feels like a conflict between two people, but there's other people involved and or surrounding the situation who know about it or are connected to the people who are involved in the conflict. And so they are affected by it. But I think this Queen of Cups feels hurt about how things went down and how over the fact that nothing was resolved. There was no closure, and it feels really nasty. It feels really bad. It kind of feels like, again, this is a repeated event. So the first time around, maybe not a big deal. Things weren't completely ironed out, but everybody got past it. Okay, so now we have entered this new situation where King of Wands comes around and is returning to the scene of the crime and kind of replaying past events. Maybe with some different characters, maybe with a little different flavor to it, but whatever the case may be, he's returning to the scene of the crime and it's replaying in a similar fashion that it has before. And because things weren't ironed out in the past, this feels like a repeated event. It feels worse than the first time around. And I think this Queen of Cups is upset because the same thing happened this time around that happened before, where there was no agreement. People may have, taken off in a huff. There was no closure of any kind. And so now this is lingering. This energy is lingering and it feels really bad. It feels like an ending and at the same time it doesn't. This Queen of Cups knows that people may have stormed off and said, I'm done with you, I'm not putting up with this crap anymore, I'm out of here. But she knows that's not the case, because an ending would mean, to a certain extent, right, you leave things in the past, you're done with it, it's over, you move on. I don't feel like anybody's going to move on from the situation. There is significant resentment and unresolved issues here that are going to fester for all parties involved. If and when, and I'm going to say when, because these kind of endings are not really endings, like I said before. This is not really an ending, even though it feels like it is. It's a temporary ending. And yeah, it feels nasty. I mean, people left the scene and probably needed to leave before there was bloodshed, is what I'm getting. It was one of those situations that it was either you leave, you get out of the situation, or somebody gets hurt or worse, or we call the cops and somebody's thrown in jail, or everybody is. And maybe that happened, I don't know. But whatever the case may be, this is not an ending. And this Queen of Cups knows it, because there's lingering resentment, and the issue will come up again. Even if this is put to rest and it's not revisited by any of the parties, let's say 5 years down the road you come together for Thanksgiving dinner, it's going to come up. Everything comes up at Thanksgiving dinner. Am I right, Leo? Everybody knows that. Does in my family. I can guarantee. Thanksgiving dinner is the loudest dinner that there is in my family. Okay, so we have the Mother in reverse. This is interesting because I kind of ended this piece talking about this Queen of Cups, who confused me when she showed up. But I feel like she's a significant player. She might be the person who ends up forcing the issue where these two have to come back together and come to some kind of resolution, or make the peace in some, concede and just say, okay, I was wrong to even ask you to do this. I'm sorry, let's move on from that kind of thing. So the Mother card, which kind of corresponds with the Empress card in the traditional Rider-Waite, but these major arcana cards in this deck of Dreams of Gaia Tarot are significantly different, but it's kind of like the Empress. So I'm going to read this from the book. If it's reversed, it's a potential blockage, and then we're going to wrap this up, Leo. Okay, and it's about a page. Here we go. The reversed Mother can signal the presence of an aspect of self, our own self or that of another, that is devouring and cruel and uses psychological or emotional manipulation to instill guilt in her child for not meeting her expectations. When her disappointment is used as a weapon and as a means to control and bind her children to her, the natural process of individualization may be kept from occurring. Receiving this reversed card asks you to ask if you have fallen into a pattern of using emotional manipulation to control others. Is your hurt or disappointment genuine, or do you act in a deliberate manner to instill guilt and remorse in order to manipulate people into meeting your expectations of them? I just have to point out that these were the last two cards that came out. Emotional manipulation is what this looks like to me. So I do believe this card has to do with this queen, and she could be part of the problem. This may not be just somebody who has hurt feelings over conflict between other people that surround her. She could be involved in this situation. Okay, let me finish this up. Another aspect of the reversed Mother is evidenced by those who are willing to give their all and everything to others. Those people seem consumed by a need to be needed and feel that it is their place and purpose in life to fix every wrong and make everyone happy. They get involved because if they do not, the situation will not be resolved, and leaving a situation unresolved is not something they can tolerate. There she is. She doesn't want the situation to go unresolved. These people may be perpetually cooking, cleaning, and mothering others instead of allowing those they mother to learn to be responsible for themselves. So this could be a smothering individual. With this King and Queen of Cups, I did get parental kind of energy from it, and I have since the beginning. But again, this does not have to be a parent-child situation. It's just a potential option for some of you. Have you ever involved yourself in a situation that is really none of your concern because you want people around you to be happy? Do you have a tendency to offer unasked for advice? Do you often act as a peacemaker or intermediary without being asked? Do you live your life constantly doing for others what they are capable of doing? Do you live through others? Do you give up your time to do for them what you should be doing for yourself? The reversed Mother suggests that these things, while done with love, are still aspects of a controlling mother because they can prevent others from standing on their own 2 feet, resolving their own conflicts, and becoming independent. Moreover, they are tasks performed to the detriment of nurturing self. Often, the very advice given to others do not adhere to the other person giving it because they are perpetually in service to others and neglect themselves. If the Mother appears reversed, she symbolizes a situation that you need to step away from, or a relationship where you are exerting undue control or influence. Let go of your need to control or to be needed and ask yourself why you are compelled to behave in this manner. Sit back, put your feet up, and relax. Allow those around you to sort out their own dramas and pick up their own dirty laundry for a change, or they will never learn and will always expect it to be done for them. Okay, so just another situation. Certainly, I know people go through this kind of thing, but this could be, again, a parent-child situation where the child has kind of come back home requesting some assistance. Parent is willing, but then wants to be a little overly involved in whatever's going on with said child, and then said child says, you know what, I just wanted your assistance, I didn't want you to be involved. Can I just have the money and go now? And this person did not take it well. I feel like it's happened in the past. And this queen could definitely be a significant player in this, but I don't think she's the aggressor, and I think that's why she kind of has secondary feeling energy about her. She's a significant player, but she's not the aggressor in the situation. So anyway, Leo, this is carried on way too long. I hope that the reading was helpful. If it resonated, please like, share, and subscribe. I certainly feel for you going through this situation. I hope you're able to get things moving in the right direction for you and have some peace. So thank you so much for watching, Leo, and I hope I see you next time. Bye.